Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. I'm Sharon Gehagen. I chair the Historic District Commission, and we hope that you'll have a pleasant experience here. I'm not speaking into it. I want one of those that you pin on, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. But I have called the meeting to order. I'm going to hand the gavel to Dr. Horton. I had surgery 3 months ago and have been out, so I am not up to speed on the commission's business right now. So without further comment, Dr. Horton, would you please take over?
What she's not admitting is that she's not used the computer yet, and we have moved to computer or electronic applications.
It's not
So
She's
not
without any further comment.
she's not playing the game yet, but we'll have her set by next month.
It's
So I'm gonna
better-
chair for you.
It's better than it was 4 months ago.
Yes.
I can tell you that.
Technologically challenged.
Yeah.
This is easy. This is good.
So
Dr. Horton, it's yours.
I'm just gonna cover for her just to give her a chance to familiarize herself with the system, but I'm gonna ask the commission to to review the minutes from the September meeting and offer approval when appropriate.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I second
I have a second from Mr. Donahoe. I'm sorry, a motion from Mr. Donahoe, a second from Dr. Crosno to approve the minutes from the September meeting. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. That motion passes. Moving to old business, application 2.1, Liddy Properties, 310 Texas Street. Is anyone here from, if you come to the podium, and you'll see at the end of the agenda that you'll see the application dated May the 8th, and it was a new construction. This was the one with the gate, if y'all remember, and we, at one time, it was gonna be a chain link, and we had said that we needed to go to something else that was in line with the guidelines for the district. It looks like you've got wrought iron coming. So tell us about what you're gonna be putting up.
I don't know what y'all have been told, so I don't really know where to start from, because I don't think I was the one that came the last time. From what I understand, they're just using it to kind of designate the properties and just to keep people that belong on the property or off the property.
Well, the question is more is what are you, I see it's wrought iron, but how high is it gonna be? The composition of the raw, is it wrought iron, is it
I
aluminum?
think there's a picture, so basically what you see in the picture.
It's iron.
And the dimensions?
You know how high?
I don't have those with me tonight.
I think I was told 6 feet.
Okay.
That's a natural.
Yeah.
And that's.
Are there gonna be are there brick pillars, or is it just gonna be straight wrought iron? Because I see it behind it, a brick
Straight.
pillar.
Yeah.
Okay, is it going in the ground, or is there gonna be brick like you see in the picture below it?
No, I think it's just going in the ground.
Signage.
Is there signage? There should
No, I
be.
think that was just,
That's just
No, that's just an example.
yeah, the company that makes the fence.
It's just around the property to secure it,
It's around all of the property?
right here. So
It's
6
just in the
feet,
pieces.
6 feet.
Yeah.
Well, where's this at? Is this on Texas Street?
Yeah, this is
That's
the
right
old
beside
storage
the-
building
the
between
New
the,
Orleans building and the storage building.
next door to the,
Yeah.
the
Used to be.
the
around
little,
to the front.
cigar bar.
I moved to approve the application. If it's, you said 6 feet tall?
Yeah, if it's 6 feet.
How do you
Congress
get in
line.
and out? Is there a gate?
I make a motion to approve the application for a 6-foot fence.
I second.
One question I have for Ms. Gehagen, it's been moved by Ms. Salter, second by Mr. Donahoe, to approve the application with one question for Ms. Gehagen. Is the gates, how are the gates up in the front going to be constructed? Because it looks like at the front, there's a gate between the
There's
building.
several gates.
Is it gonna be wrought iron too?
Not 100%, but I would say yes. I didn't
Well,
get
how
that
about this? How about
information.
we approve it under the assumption that it's wrought
Yeah.
iron and gonna
Yeah.
match the
I
rest,
wasn't
so
here
that
for
if
that.
it's- that does not end up being the case, then you'd have to come back to us and get approval for whatever the material would be.
But I guess the question we need is, how is it going to open? Is it going to open electronically? Is it going to open slide?
Hinged?
That's just the hinged. You don't know?
I mean, people have to get in and out, so,
Yeah. I mean, I think we can do it, we can approve it based on the logical assumption that it's gonna be a hinged wrought iron gate. It's
Yeah.
gonna open and close. And if it ends up not being that, then they have to come back to us for approval of that mechanism.
Well, I'll amend my motion then. Can I do that?
Yes.
Take care of it first.
Because it wasn't seconded. I amend my motion that we will allow a 6-foot fence with the gates being to match the fence in iron or aluminum, whatever y'all are using. If that is not the case, then you will have to come back to us before the approval is granted.
I second that.
Okay, I have a motion to amend the motion and a second. That includes the same information, except that the gates would need to be in conformity with the remaining, and there would be specification of how they would open and close,
Yeah,
hinged. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
yeah.
Opposed, the same. Okay, that motion passes. Thank you. Okay, application 2.2, the venue, 530 Front Street. Is anyone here for that application? Okay, so seeing none, we'll table that again.
No, I am here to.
Oh, I'm
represent- I'm sorry.
You're different role.
Buckle up.
They are wanting to do a folding sign for some horseless carriages that will be in front of the landing. City council has already moved
Nicole,
forward with, I'm
a que-
sorry,
A point of order, just make sure, I'm not sure we can do it this way.
really.
You're not, unless you're representing them, they should be here to present the application themselves.
That's what I'm doing.
You should appear here in our private capacity to represent them. I don't see, I mean, I think I could designate somebody to show up at the meeting and represent me, and that's what they've done with her. If that's what she's representing, she should appear in her private capacity. I don't see a problem with
It sets a precedent that I don't think is healthy for the Historic District Commission to have an employee of the planning and zoning or, because you're in charge too of all of the goings-on with the commission.
Okay.
So it does set a precedent. I can't
it. It
recall.
does do that, I agree.
I can't recall
Was my point,
Right,
wasn't it?
okay.
It's one, it'd be like one of us presenting.
if suppose Mr. Collins is representing somebody, you're representing Danny Collins, correct? Is that it?
No, he's here on another application.
Okay,
She's an example, yeah.
I'm sorry, that's why Steve's conducting the meeting. But it does set a precedent that I just am not sure
I don't
is
think we've
really.
ever had that before.
No.
The only thing we've had is when one of us had an application of our own that we had to step off the commission to present it because it was our
You would
property.
remove yourself from the commission table.
Is there a reason they, I'm gonna just ask you this, if you know, is there a reason they can't be here to do it?
This was an ongoing process with the city council, and so Ron is unable to be here tonight in order to move it forward with the city council or a representative, so I was asked.
Trying to facilitate, I'm not being critical of you at all.
Is this a city,
No,
is this
not-
a city project?
No,
It's-
it is
it's a
not, and it
parking.
is just a folding sign, but, yeah.
If the commission's willing to take it, it's your decision.
I agree with Ms. Gagan that I could see where, I mean, you could eventually just have nobody ever showing up for our meetings and
Right.
Nicole just presenting applications for people. Not that she would do that.
Right,
but,
right.
But I don't know how you tell another applicant, well, I'm not gonna do
Right.
that for you, but I did it for this applicant. That would seem unfair.
Right.
I wouldn't want to put you in
Just
that
table it
position of
again.
having to.
I think the motion needs to be tabled.
Tabled, okay.
And they need to get a representative here, anybody who's not associated with our office.
I move to table the application.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Donahoe to table, second from Ms. Salter. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same. That motion passes. Any other old business to come
Thank
before
you,
the commission?
Nicole.
That'll be it, no.
Okay, moving to new business application 3.1, Danny Collins, 831 Washington Street is a ratification for paint. Are there any questions on that application?
I move to ratify.
Can I have a motion to ratify? Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second from Dr. Owens. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. And that motion passes. Application 3.2, APHN 310 Jefferson Street, again, a ratification for painting. Any discussion or any question on the application as presented?
This is just for painting?
This is painting ratification.
No change. I make a motion to accept the application.
Okay, move from Ms. Salter, second from Mr. Donahoe to ratify application 3.2. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same.
No.
That motion passes. Okay, application 3.3 signage, Michael Thompson with Alternative Care Concepts, address 1115 Washington Street. Mr. Thompson is coming to the podium, and on the desk up here is the actual sign that they're proposing to install in place of the existing sign.
There is no sign there. It's
But
a
at one
fla-
time
there's
there
a flower
was, that's
bed,
what
a
I said,
brick-
there was a sign there before.
Yeah, there was before it was cut down. There's a brick flower bed there now.
All right, where is it?
This is on the old radio station on Second Street, KZBL on Washington Street. Does the sign meet the minimum
Yes, it
in
does.
terms of maximum, I should say?
Yeah, that's the motion.
This is the actual sign that they're submitting for approval.
Ms. Rogg, does it meet all of the?
It does.
Do you have a motion for approval?
I make a motion to accept the application.
I have a motion from Ms. Salter to approve, a second from Ms. Robertson. Any discussions on the motion, on the application? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All those in favor of the application say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passes. Thank you.
I do have one question. As I have leased that property from Mr. Lott, the people who have built that wrought iron and brick fence coming down the road, I noticed that they installed a mirror on their driveway to reflect the oncoming traffic. Would I need to come before the committee again and ask permission to put something similar
Yeah.
up above that sign so that we could see traffic coming down the road?
It would be in your, yes.
Yeah, I think so. They probably should have done that too.
It would have been a similar, we would want to do a similar mirror. I'm going to have a lot of people, ladies coming in and out of there, and it's impossible to see from the big flower bed down to that corner.
I would just submit to the commission a picture of it and the dimensions, and it'll be put in your file. We would approve it in old business.
We'll do that.
That'd probably be the easiest and probably the safest way.
Yeah, that'll work. We'll work on that in the next 30 days. Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, application 3.4, Ben Fallon, 122 Route 2 Line, Suite D. Application for signage. Is anyone here for that application? Okay, if you look at your apps and you look at the screen, you'll see the actual screen, the sign that he's proposing. You want to tell us a little bit about it?
Basically, it's 35 inches by 15 inches. It's going on the existing chains there in front of the office door at 122.
Two-sided?
It is two-sided, yes, metal.
What's the address?
122.
122 two-line.
Sweet D.
Is it replacing one of the signs that was there before?
Yes.
There's hooks there, so I'm assuming so.
It meets the parameters.
It does.
And I make a motion to accept the application for signage.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Ms. Salter, a second from Ms. Gahagan to approve the application as presented. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. That motion passes. Thank you. Okay, application 3.5, Madison Crystal Pier, 617 Second Street, right across the street, the old Britain Apartments. And he has got a paint application and some minor repairs. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
What are we up to?
The dark green on the property, I'd like to change it to a charcoal, a similar charcoal color in surrounding areas. And then the only other thing is the handrail on the second-story balcony is too low. I'm wanting to extend it to make it safer.
You need to meet meet code requirements too. That's-
Right, well, it hadn't met code since probably 1908. I'm just wanting to make it safe for me. It's right here, this is like above Ducano, so they just
Yeah.
added like a bar. I really want to do more of the vertical filigree piece there with maybe a fleur-de-lis, make it a little more decorative than just that bar. And I
what
would
color-
like to change,
What color would that be?
I would like to make it the same color as all the other handrails, just the black. It's the
So you're
one we-
talking about a charcoal house?
No, 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 no.
No.
No, that charcoal was just on the green existing trim.
This,
It's
green.
light green and dark
on
green.
the trim
Just
one.
Only the dark green trim.
Just the dark
Yes,
green.
ma'am.
Say,
Right.
whoa,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
whoa, okay, it's just on the trim work, you want to put the black.
Mhm.
And to
Okay.
make it match the rail, it would be
Yeah.
much more.
Right,
difficult.
and so it's basically black, and then the existing handrail that's there is like tan. And if we're going to the trouble, or cream, going to the trouble to make the new filigree to get it up to code, which nobody's enforced the code ever, I just want to make it safe for me and my guests. I
Okay.
would like to go ahead and make the handrail the same color as the trim.
Sure.
What about the doors? Are they
The
going?
doors, I like them the way they are.
Okay, and the paint color of the building will stay the
I
same?
want to leave it the same.
Are you going to repaint it?
I probably will, but I will just get a Sherwin-Williams match on it. The
Okay,
exact same color.
We want
okay.
to go
You
ahead
want
and
that in
approve
this
it.
application?
I would like it.
So we need to amend the
Yeah, we need to-
application
to include painting of the same color.
Right, right.
to, I think I can draft.
Okay.
I would move to amend the application for it to now read that they have permission to repaint the structure using the same paint that is currently existing, except that the trim that is currently dark green will be charcoal and the metal railing will be black, and that metal railing will be raised in some fashion.
Correct. Now, since the railing touches the vertical post, and like all the posts on Front Street, they use the same black,
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
that people call caviar. I would like to make it, the vertical post and the railing all match.
Yeah,
Right.
Agreed.
You know, just to
Yeah.
give it that contrast.
and then so to finish,
Right.
the metal railing and the metal poles
Right.
would.
What is the roof of the balcony? You
That
see?
is a metal.
Yeah,
and
what
I'm-
color are you going to paint that?
I'm gonna leave it alone, because I don't wanna get on top of it. But when we have the first problem or something goes on, I do wanna come back and probably change that to a charcoal type of roof that's better. I haven't been up there while it's raining yet. There are some gaps and stuff, but that's an old building. And somebody went to a lot of trouble to roll that metal just perfectly and make them all out. And, we'll revisit that whenever I see that there's a problem.
Well, it's nice to know you're interested in taking care of it.
Right, right, we're gonna preserve it and make it, we're gonna leave it just the way it is as much as we can. And honor the man that used to live in it also.
Oh, gosh.
We're also, already talked with the Britons, and they're all in favor of it, because we'd like to name it the Brit House.
Yeah.
In honor of
Or,
Jack.
or just the Brit,
Yeah,
and I would like to come up with some kind of plaque or something on the front.
but I'm
which
sure we'll have to come back and get
we'll
permission to put
submit
that up,
that.
but that's what we want to do.
You'll get the sign, it's like a sign basically, and you'll
Right,
position
right.
where you're gonna put it. And-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Britt would be delighted.
He would.
Yes, he would.
I don't think we're gonna say the house that Jack built. We're gonna
Yeah.
put something-
I have his book. I have his book inside of there
We
that
did,
says
we
that.
did.
Okay, I have a motion from Mr. Donahoe,
A
a
second.
second from Ms. Robinson, to approve the application as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion passes.
All right, thanks.
Thank y'all.
Thank you for your time.
Great plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, that's
That'll
wonderful.
be pretty.
Okay, moving on to application 3.6, Clint Harrow, 208 Williams Avenue. Paint and roof replacement. Is anyone here for that application?
Mm-mm. That needs to be changed.
Okay. I have a that would be tabled until someone is here to present the application.
Okay.
3.7, Nicole Winger, 303 Jefferson Street, installation of a boat dock.
Which house is this?
It'd be, if you're coming across the Kaiser Bridge towards the historic district, it'll be, I believe, 3 houses to the right. There's already 2 boathouses right there, and it would be right past the second boathouse.
Is that the brown house, kind of brown color?
It's, y'all should know what house it is. They recently started remodeling, and they had to come to y'all for some windows or something the last I heard. I believe they're
Did you
remodeling.
just pass it?
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's on the, when you're going north, it's
Who
on the
owns
right
the
or the
house?
left?
It's
Beyond
on,
the
if when you're
water.
going north, it's on the right, is Nicole Wanger. They're a couple out of, New Orleans, I believe.
It's the house on the other side of LJ and Gates.
It's gotta be next to LJ.
It's the
Oh,
brown,
that's
it's the brown one.
Sort of a
Kind of
creamy
taupey
color,
creamy.
yeah.
Yeah,
That one,
it has dark brown trim.
right.
Is it the two-story house?
No,
Maybe it's two.
yeah, it's two-story.
Well, it's, the Jefferson House being big.
Is it right in, oh, it's that
It's-
little house in the middle
yeah.
between the Melders
Yeah,
and the
right.
Jefferson?
But this is
Okay.
just a boat dock, right?
Yeah, just a boat dock,
They
and
had
the
to come to
Waterway
us for
Commission's
windows.
already approved it. They're good with it.
Is that a picture of?
What's
That's
it
the
gonna
picture
be
of the
made out
house.
of? Obviously wood. but
Wood,
is it
yeah.
Gonna be painted or anything?
No, just basic wood.
Basic
Similar,
exposed wood.
similar to most structures on the river.
It looks like it goes out pretty
Yeah.
far. Has
Great
that been
time.
approved by the
It's,
Waterway
yeah,
Commission?
so basically,
It was.
if you look at it,
It's
if
got
you can
several
zoom out, I don't know if
on
you can
there.
zoom out or not, but it'll be no farther than the neighboring boathouses, which meets the
Well,
minimum
isn't it
requirement
20
from
feet?
natural shoreline.
Isn't the restriction 20 feet from the?
It's
canyon?
24 from natural shoreline, yes ma'am.
It's 24?
24 foot from natural shoreline,
Is this the
yes
house
ma'am.
Okay.
Um,
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, right there.
It's a bunch.
I can show you some
It just
pictures of
looks
the back.
rather long, is why I asked that question.
Yes, ma'am. If, it looks long, because if you see, they actually have maybe like a 12-foot step back in that property line where somebody came and reclaimed, and I guess maybe reclaimed some of that dirt. And
Uh-huh.
it's a pretty steep hill right there.
What's the appropriate time? I
Okay,
mean,
all treated lumber,
Yep.
roof is what, metal?
No roof, just a dock. So
Oh,
it'll,
just a dock.
yes, ma'am. It'll basically be like a deck over the
Yeah,
water.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am. A very simple design, very simple structure.
I make a motion to approve the application.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Mrs. Salter, second from Mrs. Gahagan to approve the application as presented. All those in favor of the application, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. My motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, application 3.8, Lynn and Suzanne Taylor. This is 858 and 860 Second Street. It looks like we have a renovation going on here. Wynn is coming to the podium. And if you'll pull up the application, at the end, you'll see what we're headed to discuss. It is, you'll go to starting page 32. You'll see a picture of the
Do we have to scroll down there?
property on 33.
Okay.
So what do you want to do?
it?
Plan is to get it leveled, put new siding and new windows on the exterior.
I'm
and
sorry, can
new-
you speak up a little bit more?
I'm sorry, I'm so tall, I'm not gonna get the microphone here. New siding after it gets leveled, new windows, and have new lattice around the exterior underneath the house.
Is there going to be a change in color?
I think so, my wife has those details, I thought that she'd put them in the application. She should be here soon, she was dropping her kids off on her last bus route from the after-school program. I'm red green colorblind,
Is this
so I don't
it?
even try to
All right,
tell you what color something
This
is.
is the siding sample? Is it this color?
Yeah, whatever she brought you is what she had picked.
Is
It
there a
looks better
reason-
than that blue house 2 doors down.
And I don't know about all of this, because there was no color selected.
That was just something that they gave her with it. I think that's the one she picked. Like I said, I thought she had put all that information in the application.
Is there a reason why you've chosen the vinyl siding over the wooden siding?
Durability and life. The wood and paint around here, you'd have to paint every 3 to 5 years versus 30-plus years with siding.
have you had an opportunity to research what can happen in between the siding and the foundation that it's placed upon as far as rot and anything like that? The National Center has a wonderful source. It would be a wonderful source for you to look at some of the damage that can be caused to a structure from the vinyl siding.
Oh, if it leaks or something behind it?
And
Moisture, mainly it's the moisture that gets behind it. It actually can affect the entirety of the house if you're not careful, if it's not installed correctly.
What's the history of this structure?
I have no idea other than I bought it in like
Where's the
1995, I think I got it. I think it was moved on the property at some point. I don't think it was always there.
Nicole's gonna go get it.
That's it.
I'm not sure.
We're gonna get the information on the structure itself.
Okay.
But you think it was moved there?
I'm not sure. And I'm more familiar with that end of Second Street, where my grandparents owned like a whole block on one side versus this end.
Well, it's certainly worth rehabilitating. and
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
the other
delighted
houses
to see you
nearby have
doing
been getting worked on, and the one right next to it, I mean, it looked like it's even worse shape than mine.
and it's identical to the one that's
No, well,
behind it, isn't it?
no, the one that's just to the left of this one, there's been a car that's got flat tires that's been parked there for at least 10 years and hadn't
Oh.
moved.
Ms. Rock, can we do something about that?
I'm
Can-
trying to see which one he's speaking of.
Well, it would be, that's
Is it up the
858.
hill?
No, it's just to the left of this one. It would be 856 or 854, I would think.
There are two of them together.
Yeah, that's a duplex. 858's on the left, 860's on the right. For 911 emergency calls, they gave each apartment its own unique number, not an A or B.
But when I'm thinking, I'm orienting myself, it's down at this end of Second Street, right?
Yes, it is right there at the
Not quite
corner of
to Texas
Pavy
Street.
and Second, where y'all have the historic district marker in the yard. And I gave y'all an easement for that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that.
It's on the right side
Maybe
of the road
20 years
coming
ago, I don't
toward
remember.
town.
Hey, would you consider getting in touch with the National Center for Preservation Technology and Training and seeing if they have some information they could share with you as far as vinyl siding and the damage that can be caused by it? And you'd have the information at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to stick my wife on that.
I think it'd be just safer to ask the question before you do, because, I mean, we're dealing with a house down here on Second, the Robo House, and the Methodist Church purchased it, and it was one of those ones that was sided in the 70s.
1986.
And they're taking the siding off, and they're gonna go back to the original, and they're finding so much damage under it.
Yeah.
And some of it's structural, and it's because moisture got behind. And the lesson I guess they're learning there too is that she sided everything. There was not a piece of wood that was exposed. And over the 30 years it was there, water got under it and created
Okay.
a good bit of structural damage that they've had to repair on top when they took the siding off.
Yeah.
They had to repair it before they can even get to the point of
Yeah,
painting.
we know we're gonna, when they start doing stuff, they're gonna have to repair some structure stuff too.
So it's just a good idea possibly is to have that check to make sure.
And let me make you aware, have you seen this, the status of the structure on Second Street, the literature referring to it?
No, he hasn't.
So you haven't seen this. 860 Second Street is a 1.5-story frame bungalow with a side gabled roof and full-width undercut porch. A shed roof dormer is located on the central roof slope. The windows appear to be the original 6/6 double-hung sashes, but the panel doors are probably later replacements. This house was moved to the lot after 1986. As it is similar to the houses in its vicinity, it would contribute to the district, and so the status is contributing, which means it's an important structure.
Yeah, I
in the
thought it
district.
was, I thought heard that it had been moved on there at some point. I just
That's
didn't know when.
interesting.
Well, if it still has its original
Wonder
windows.
where it was moved from.
I know, that would
I
be.
wish that was in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
That needs.
Well, maybe we can get a copy of this for him.
you're talking about replacing all the windows, but, the windows on the front need to stay.
Okay, so, the windows on the front aren't as bad shape as the one on the outside, because they're not weathered like the ones on the other
If that's the
faces.
original glass and the original everything, we want that to stay. And depending on what we end up doing, it may be, the front needs to be hardy board painted like the original house would look. And then if we have to allow the siding down the sides and the back.
Okay,
That would
But check,
match.
let's do a little research and see what they could share with you from the from the
Preservation Center.
Preservation Center.
Okay.
We're losing too many of our houses. The convenience is to go ahead and, and just
Yeah.
put vinyl over it, and that totally ruins the look of the historic district.
When I was 3, my grandfather put aluminum siding on where I had my office. I remember that.
Yeah, and so we're trying to restore everything to as original as we can.
Yeah.
And we want to work with you as much as we can, too.
Yeah.
So, if you can find out a little bit more about that, and maybe compare the pricing, and come back next month.
Well, when we did our house over on Henry, we originally were looking at somebody just painting it. This is back in 2017. They wanted over $30,000 just to paint the house.
Sure.
We got it, and that was before windows or anything. We got windows and siding, everything done for like $25,000. The painting, and the paint only lasts 3 to 5 years because of the weather situation we have here with the cold and heat and humidity.
Or would you consider consulting with the Preservation Center and letting us know what you find out and coming back next month? Or are you planning on doing work within the next 30 days?
Well, I mean, I want to get something started. My plan is to get the leveling done as soon as possible, because that's structural, and we can't do anything else, or shouldn't do anything else until the
Right.
structure is found. After that, we can start doing repairs on the inside.
Do you have an idea of your timeline when you're talking about this?
My wife has been in charge of getting estimates and stuff like that. I really wish she was here. She was hoping that the meeting would run long, but y'all were like, approve, boom, approve, boom. So I'm like, she ain't gonna make it.
There she is. There she is.
Okay, well, I should probably let y'all talk to her then. Come on up.
Good evening, my name's Suzanne Taylor. How far have we gotten?
We need to know a little bit about windows at this point.
Okay, I have a picture. They are vinyl windows. They will have grids in them. If you'll notice on the house, on different pictures, there are 3 different types of windows. Some have 6 grids, some have 4 grids, and one is an aluminum window. So none of the windows match. So what we're trying to do, and also we have 3 different types of siding on this house. So we're trying to get everything wrapped and everything look cohesive and nice. So I have a picture. These are the ones that are existing on my current home. And do you want me to pass it around?
They need to consult with the Preservation Center, because this too will set a precedent if we do. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever driven this fast before.
Ever what?
Driven this fast before.
Oh.
Get that school bus parked and get over here.
So there are 3 different types of windows on the house, you said. So which windows are you leaning towards keeping, and are you going to make the other windows look like the windows that you're going to keep, like in the front of the house?
We are going to replace all the windows so that everything,
Well, the windows in the front, we're recommending that they stay.
well, they don't open. That's the problem. They don't open. And we're getting the house leveled, and it becomes a safety issue if we can't get the window open.
Do you want to share with your wife what we just discussed as far as, since she's making the decision.
Contact the Preservation Center on University about, saying that sometimes when siding is installed on property, moisture builds up behind it and loss wasn't attached.
Right. So the company that'll be installing this is actually Window World. They'll be doing the siding and the windows, so they know what they're doing. We are going to get all of the stuff that's on the other side that's rotted out repaired independently from them, but they know what they're doing. They've done our house, they've done another one of our homes, and we have never had a problem.
Have we ever approved vinyl siding in the district?
Yes, there is vinyl siding in the district.
There's very little, and it's discouraged because of the damage it can cause to the wood foundation. But I think if my memory is correct, I believe that the last house that we did allow vinyl siding, it was just on the back and the sides. And the front of it was matching what is there, and I don't have a picture of.
We've not approved wrapping windows for sure.
Yeah.
What we've talked about since you were not here is the fact that this is a contributing house to the district, even though it was moved into this area. It's still of a period to be of importance, and it also supports the others around it. And what we're trying to do is preserve as much of that look as we can. And we had made the suggestion possibly that we keep everything on the front as is. No siding, you have to use the hardy board, paint it, to match. And we wanted the original windows to stay if possible, because that's the original glass and everything in those windows. So that's what we were discussing. Now, once you get the house leveled, then I think what we need to do is to table this for tonight. Y'all need to talk to the preservation people. Y'all need to go ahead and get the house leveled. That's step one anyway, and see where we are once it gets leveled in relationship to these windows.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not about to pour a bunch of money into this house. If I can't get some of this stuff done on it, we're just going to sell it as is, because it is expensive. I checked into wooden windows. It was $27,000 for wooden windows. Y'all might be made of money, but I'm not.
Now, we're
And
not
it's
saying
just-
replace the windows with wood windows, but just the two on the front.
On the front.
On the front, because we have approved vinyl windows on the sides and on the back, so long as from the street, they look
The front
like,
view.
windows that you would have.
I mean, we can look into getting those two front windows repaired and see, can we get them repaired, or do they need to stay the same? Because they do not open.
Repaired, yeah.
Okay,
You're preserving them when you do that.
okay.
I mean,
They're going to stay the way they are, because I don't know what that is. I mean, you can't see it from the inside, and
They're decorative.
okay.
They were probably put there when the building was made.
Well, I can't speak for everybody else in here. I would be inclined to approve it if the front of the structure was not vinyl, it was hardy board, and then I'd probably allow vinyl on the side, keeping the front windows the same. But I don't think I would approve of vinyl across the front. That would be my
That's my opinion
position.
too. And I have another question too. The posts that are holding up the front porch, are those going to be replaced?
No,
Okay, are you gonna paint all of that?
that is the intention, white.
That was my next question, the color. And the vinyl, which is around here somewhere, is kind of a grayish vinyl?
Is that
Yes.
the color?
So it's gonna
with
look like
big
Not,
piece?
okay. May I?
White and gray.
Yeah.
So,
They're better. They're more important when it comes to color than
Okay.
I promise.
I promise you, it will not be the blue that's 2 doors down.
Oh, my God.
Let's not
Thank
go
you.
there, okay? Every contractor I've had come to that house has said something about that blue house. So this is the vinyl that's gonna go on. Now, I have the option of doing a 1-inch that matches the front, or this one, or a 5-inch. And this is a straight lap like the front. This is called a Dutch type. I'm not going with this. It's gonna be a straight black, like what's more time period. The color was either this gray or possibly, I'm still on the fence of this color and this color. These two colors. It's not gonna be anything up here. It's gonna be down in here. And it will not be white, yellow, or beige. It will be none of these colors. It'll be
Okay.
somewhere, it will not be this, it's this one, and possibly this one. I wanna see if I can get a computer generation with a picture of the house, and you know how they can do that, see what that looks like.
And
Because I
then-
want it to look nice.
Okay, and then the windows would be in the matching, or would it be in a white?
The windows would be white,
Okay, to correlate with your trim and everything else?
correct,
Okay,
correct.
that's fine, and then if you kept the front and the hardy board, it would, whatever that is, you paint it into that color. But you also keep the 1 inch, like,
You want this in the 1 inch? Yeah,
to
that's not a
match the
problem.
front.
Okay,
Yeah, and that way it will look more conducive all the way
Right.
around, everything will be the same.
yeah, that's, I mean, as you can tell on the pictures, there's 3 different things on there. that-
Right,
Yeah, I
right.
noticed that.
And then on your windows, I noticed like here, this is a 6 light, well, it's really.
6/6.
6/6.
Right.
And that's basically what you have in the front. So that's great. You're gonna keep that going all the way around.
Right.
So actually, you'll be improving the look of the house, which is fantastic. We just want to keep as much of the front of the integrity of the house that we can.
Okay.
We want to work with you the best that we can.
So the front, the slats that are on there, none of those are damaged because it's been covered from the weather.
Okay.
So those are still in
Well, that's fine.
relatively good shape.
Just
So
paint.
they
Yep.
just need to be cleaned up and painted.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
fine.
great.
That's fine.
But,
What color for the
Now,
doors?
What about the shutters
Shutters and doors?
and doors? Are
the
they?
shutters are gonna be a complementary color. It's not gonna be white. But it will be, if it's, let's say it's this green, it's gonna either have a darker green or maybe a beige.
So-
It's gonna have a complementary color. It's not gonna be anything that's gonna be in your face.
Well, after you get the structure leveled,
Mhm.
I think that's when you put all of your colors together and decide and present that to us.
And we're gonna.
Yeah, you present specific colors, so it's in your file, it's approved, all those are gonna be approved, but you decide what color it's gonna be.
Okay.
And you probably, I mean, you wouldn't be painting within the next 30 days, would you?
No, but I have to get in their scheduling. and
Okay.
We're gonna
schedule
approve
out.
those colors, so it's
Yeah,
not
the
a
colors,
matter.
the color choice, that's personal, so that's gonna be yours, you just gotta submit what they are.
Yeah.
Oh, what they are. Okay, that's not a problem.
Did
So
you?
I can do that. Do I need to come back in a month to do that, or can I
Yes.
just submit it?
It'll come up under old business, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we still have to reconcile the sides and the windows, don't we? Are we gonna
Yeah.
approve that?
The
Probably
what
so,
for the
hu-
windows, what'd you say?
Probably
We would
the
still
whole
have to approve,
package.
in other words, once the house is leveled, or we're,
Oh, yeah, once the house is up, we gotta figure out what are those front windows.
so we're gonna have to
You're gonna
do this
come back
again in old
anyway.
business in the
Yeah.
front anyway.
But she can go ahead and
Oh,
order
yeah.
the windows for the side and
Absolutely.
back and all that.
Okay.
It's just the front. So you have to come back with the windows for the front, shutters, the colors, things like that.
Okay, that's not a
Okay.
problem, because he's not gonna be able to start in 30 days, but he doesn't wanna start pulling any permits or anything until it's been.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So I will
Well,
go
thank
ahead and
you.
let him know, and
Yeah,
I will
that's
get these
fine.
colors to you by
That's fine.
next month.
Yeah, just, yeah.
Mr. Dunn, are you
Sean
putting a
Terrell,
motion forward?
I'm
Another
trying to think of it in
application.
my head.
Just give me a call.
I'm gonna hold this off.
How is the original application worded?
Okay, we're gonna vote on.
Look at it.
I was gonna let you formulate it, Ms. Salter, I don't know, I can't figure it out.
Jared, have you had a bad day?
I just can't figure it out, I've been trying to take it all in over here.
Okay, I make a motion then, to approve the siding that was submitted by the Taylors for the sides and the back of the house. The front will remain as is, just to be repainted to match the sides of the house. The siding will be in the 1-inch thickness to match the front of the house. The trim color for the porch and everything will be white. And then at the next meeting, Ms. Taylor will come with the rest of the colors, and the windows. Yeah, everything else for the front.
I'm second that motion.
And that will
Jerry.
also,
I have a motion from Ms. Salter, or a very detailed motion from Ms. Salter, and a very specific second from Mr. Donahoe to approve the application with those specifications.
I include the
we
window.
didn't talk
Did I
about the
include the
flooring
windows in
of the
there?
porch and the
You
colors of
did.
it.
I'm sorry?
Did
Yeah, that's
I-
a good point, but it's probably.
Should I come back and
We
approve
didn't
for the
talk
windows and
about
the
the,
doors?
the,
Lattice on the bottom.
no, the lattice we did, but not the floor of the porch.
Mhm.
As far as what you plan to do with it.
It's
You
going to
plan
stay the way it
repaint
is.
leave
It's
as
going
it
to
is?
stay in a natural color. I'm not a fan of painting
So
flooring.
it's a stain?
It is it stained or is it natural?
So is it staying, you're not doing anything with it, in other words?
But you're
No,
not
we're not
gonna-
changing anything
you're
on
not
it.
gonna change it,
No,
you're just
that's
gonna
going to
clean
stay
it
the
up.
same. Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
And, yeah, and the railing.
We could put a stale,
The railing that you have around.
a stain on it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the posts will be painted white.
As well as the railing?
Yes.
Sure. I need more stuff to do. That's great.
If you change your mind, just bring it
And then, of
forward.
course, you've got
Yeah.
the lattice.
Yes, the lattice
That
will
has
be
to painted
white.
as well, okay.
The lattice will be white, and it
It
will
just-
also be
It's just
installed.
one thing leads to another. It just,
It is, it's,
so,
yeah.
One suggestion is, depending on what color you're painting your doors, like on the house, the way it sits, if just the top part of the railing was the color of the doors, and then your bars were in the white, that'd look very nice.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know, so once you get the colors, you know, or I can help you with the colors and stuff, just let me know.
Okay, all right.
Okay, you have a motion on the floor.
Okay, call the motion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same.
And Ms. Rock, will you get a copy of this? Ms. Taylor, this is a summary of why the structure is contributing, so we'll get a copy of it for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. I do have, I guess, a remark, a comment to make. The house next door to it is completely wrapped in vinyl. However, the back of that house, well, the front is falling apart, but the back of the house, in the middle from the roof down, it's caving in.
Does anybody live there?
Nobody lives there. To my understanding, the owner passed away, and so there have been no inhabitants in that place in I don't know how many years, but it's becoming a structural
We need to check.
hazard.
You check with the city council about that. Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't,
Yeah.
if it needs to be condemned, that's the city.
What is the address of that house?
852.
852?
Yeah, that would be something the city would have to look at that would come under this.
Well, isn't it one of the,
There's three.
it's a very important structure in the district. It's a shame
Not
it's
anymore.
crumbling.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we need to look at that.
It looks like it's about to implode on itself.
Oh, thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you for your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
Anything else to come before the commission?
I moved to adjourn.
Second.
Motion, do I have a second from Ms. Robinson to adjourn? All those in favor, say aye.